Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about Star Wars Battlefront 2 or the Battlefront sequel. To be more specific, I wanted to talk about 5 things that I think they should not keep from the current game in the next one. This is by no means a full list of things that should be removed from the current game, but this was the 5 first things that came into my mind when it comes to features that I think they could either change or completely remove. As always, if you guys have any suggestions on things that you think they should remove or add or anything like that, make sure to leave some comments below, and I might do a follow-up video talking about the things that you guys want instead of what I want, which will be what I'm talking about in this video. But I'm sure that a lot of you will agree on my thoughts as well. But now let's jump into it. First off, we have hero pickups. This is something I've talked about before, and I made a video where I suggested how it could work instead, where you would basically get a chance to become the hero, and the more score you have, both objective scores and by killing, the higher chance you have of becoming the hero. So everyone has a chance, but the better you play, the higher chance you have. Because as of right now, the hero pickups are, well, quite annoying to say the least. I mean, I've had multiple times where I've gotten the hero pickup and died, and I've seen someone roll up just in front of me to steal the pickup. It's just not a very fair system to distribute the hero in my opinion, especially considering that you basically get a huge advantage if you have a jump pack. And that link doesn't really make sense to me, that your choice of star cards would affect the chance of getting a hero. But I think this is something most people agree on. Hero pickups haven't been the best thing to distribute heroes with, and I think DICE are probably aware of that and are looking for a new system. Moving on, I would also like to see a reduction in one-shot mechanics in the game. What I'm talking about is things like pulse cannons, scatter guns, and other weapons where you can simply one-bang someone without them having a single chance of dodging it. Like the pulse cannon, you can't even dodge it with bodyguard, and back the bomb, and the scatter gun goes through everything. I like that it works as a counter against the personal shield, but I still think that there's too many one-shot mechanics in this game. I mean, I do like them, they are fun. But just for the best of the game, I think it would be better without them, which would also make the game a bit harder. I don't mind grenades and things like that one-shotting, because that means that you need to hit them dead on, and if you hit them a little bit off, you would just do like half the damage. But things like the pulse cannon, where you can just one-shot someone across the entire map, and you don't really have much of a chance of dodging it unless you see the glare, are things that I think they could scrap or remake for the next game. It's completely fine if power-ups and things that you only get temporarily can one-shot, but no star cards that you can spawn in with should be super easy one-shots that you can't dodge, in my opinion. Next up, we have jump pack for everyone. This is something that in the current game is, well, kind of a necessity in many game modes, and it's not really something they can do anything about in the current game, but it's something they can think about for the next game. Because if they decide that no one's gonna have a jump pack at the launch, well, that's gonna change the gameplay pace a lot. I think it's gonna be for the better, but that's of course very hard to say if you don't actually get a chance to try it out. But if we look back to the first games, only a couple of classes had the ability to actually use a jump pack. Like we had the Dark Trooper that had, well, the classic jump pack, and we also have the Jet Trooper, which had more of a jetpack, the same as Boba Fett. And I think that if they do have a class system, that could be a better idea. And if they don't have a class system and they have a star card system like now, well, in that case, I think they should just scrap the jump pack or make it have some sort of negative effect that really makes you consider, is it really worth that mobility if I lose out on another thing that's really important? I hope that makes sense, because I think it's a little bit annoying seeing people flying across the map all the time in this game. Next up, we have vehicle imbalance or asymmetrical vehicle gameplay. I'm not against asymmetrical gameplay in general, but I feel like the biggest issue is that I really hate the ATSTs in this game. They are super annoying in game modes like Supremacy and Turning Point, where I sometimes just feel like, what are they even doing here? The rebels don't have any proper counter for it. I mean, preferably both teams would have sort of equal vehicles, so that those would take out each other. But the other main issue is that there are a lot of anti-vehicle weapons in this game, but if you don't have a hand prepared with anti-vehicle weapons, then you can't switch to that in the game. If you look on Battlefield, you can just switch around your loadout as much as you want during the actual game. So if you have issues with vehicles, well, equip all the anti-vehicle gear you want and get in there. Whereas in this game, if you don't have an anti-vehicle hand in one of your only 2 slots, well, then you're pretty much screwed. Maybe you can be lucky and get a good power up, but otherwise there's not too much you can do than just run in and die over and over from that AT-ST. And that's the biggest problem in my opinion, and I think this is a combination of both teams needing vehicles and also a better system where you can actually freely switch out your loadouts during the game so that you can get proper anti-vehicle weapons for that. I also want to note that I think that the AT-80 is completely fine. That one is a lot more stationary, it isn't as annoying as the AT-ST, and those type of asymmetrical gameplay is fantastic. But just having someone respawn in as an AT-ST to get 10 or 15 free kills every round, that's a little bit annoying. Lastly, we have charge cards, and I don't have anything against the effect of the charge cards. I think those are completely fine, but the big issue here in my opinion is the whole system of buying charges. Like, it doesn't make sense that you need to buy something between every game that you will then use in the game, when everything else in the game is something you get in the actual round and not something you buy in the screen before that. I really thought that was a very weird design decision. I remember that, I'm not sure if it was the beta or the alpha, but you actually got a set amount of charges when the round started. And I thought that was better, because that means that you need to be more careful when you use it and you can't just stock up with 1,000 of them if you do have a lot of credits. So that was a system that really felt strange, because no other games usually have that. I mean, in Battlefield you don't have to buy grenades before you enter a game, so that was a very weird design decision in my opinion, and I don't see any reason to why DICE would keep that, so hopefully they will have something completely else. But yeah, that's 5 things that I think they should not keep from the current game in the next one. Please let me know in the comments below if you agree with my thoughts, or if you think that anything I brought up should actually be kept in the next game, or if you have any other suggestions yourself. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.